Hello.
We're gonna speak.
Bonbini. We're going to speak. How's everybody doing out there in TV land? It's not really TV land, is it?
It's YouTube land.
In YouTubia, YouTubivia, YouTubopia. Can you guys hear us?
That's a good question.
I'm drooling.
You want to say hi to some people?
Yeah. Well, let's make sure they can hear us first.
Oh.
Let's get at least one confirmation that they can hear us, and then we'll say hi. Because I don't want to say hi to anybody, and then they're like, "We couldn't hear you," and then they're like, "You never said hi to us."
You're talking really loud. I'm sorry. Okay, somebody can hear us. All right. Now we can say hi to people.
Excellent.
Ed says, "Hi, Matt and Kimbra. Can't wait for our cruise tomorrow on the Mardi Gras."
Oh yeah.
Awesome. How many days
that is
until
very
our Mardi
exciting.
Gras cruise?
How many days?
Mm-hmm.
38.
I think it's more than that.
Is it?
I think it's like 44 or 43.
Is it?
42.
42. It's the perfect number. 42.
All right.
It's
Stacey
life,
says,
the universe.
"Hi, Matt and Kimbra."
Hey, Stacy.
And Ania says, "Hi, everyone from our hotel in Cocoa Beach,
Woo,
ready
woo.
to board Mardi Gras tomorrow."
Nice. Do not mess that ship up. Okay.
Your mom's on here saying hi to everyone else, but she hasn't said hi to us yet. But that's
now
okay.
You made her feel bad. Way to go, Kimbra.
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Hey, look, there's a Tony. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony. Bonbini.
Shady Hill Homestead. Hello.
Hello.
And
that's it.
Okay.
We have 9 people. 9.
Well, we haven't been on for like 2 weeks, so
that's true.
I would have
People
forgotten about it.
Do they even do this anymore?
Do they exist?
I don't know.
Who are those people?
So we're back. I feel like our background looks darker than normal, even. But
I think it just always looks dark. Maybe we're just super bright.
But that's it. Yeah, we're back from our cruise. We've been back.
There we go.
For a week. And
I made her feel bad, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Congratulations,
Kimbra.
I was just kidding.
Congratulations.
Okay. Anita says, "How was your cruise? We want to hear all about it."
We're not going to talk about cruising tonight.
It was just a cruise. I mean, no.
No, it was. That is actually exactly what we're going to talk about.
I am so sorry to interrupt. I just realized I'm wearing a pink shirt and you have a pink flamingo behind you. And you're wearing a teal shirt, and I know it's not teal, but it's a greenish color. No, but it's closer than
teal
pink.
Is a blue. It's got green in it.
Okay. Well, I can tell you that green is closer than my pink.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't even know what
that's
that means,
fine.
But okay.
Hey, all 9 people, hit the like button. Thank you, Stacy.
That's right.
Hey, there's Air Force Left.
Hit it 3 times. Don't hit it twice, though.
How was your cruise? I mean, cruising is just whatever. We're not going to talk about it at all.
No?
Nah. I mean, why would we? It'd be different if we were like a cruising channel or something.
Yeah, that'd be different. Yeah, so let's talk about.
I guess we'll talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Talking about it. Talking about it. Boop, 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 boop. You know the song? Mm-hmm. Talking about.
I think we're gonna
cruising.
That should be copyright now.
Paro DJ. That is a parody waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Talking about cruising. Yeah. I'll stop. Okay. Well, let's talk about it. We went on a cruise. It was the Carnival Celebration. It was with 4 other people. Those people would be, in no particular order, Gina, Stacy, Jen, and JT, who I don't know if JT made it. He said he was going to try and stay awake, but I haven't seen him in the chat. So he may be there. He may be getting Courtier imprinted on his forehead right now because he fell asleep at the keyboard. That's what he told us happens. But Stacy is in here, and Gina may be in there too. So we cruised with these fine folks, and we went out of Miami. This cruise was an 8-night cruise. It was a long cruise.
We missed the hi. I'm sorry. Hello, Adventures with Austin.
Hey,
You guys up at
is
the.
that's our Austin?
Oh.
Yeah, look at that. That's our Austin. That
It's not just
Cheskawitzka.
Austin anymore.
Cheskawitzka. Nice. Hitting
Oh,
the springs tomorrow. Oh, that's hopefully you have to let us know how crowded they are because I am aching to get in the springs, but I don't want to go with a bunch of drunk people playing loud music at the springs. So.
And there's Captain Billy.
Well, hello there, Captain Billy.
All right, go ahead and keep talking
Oh.
after you finish your alcoholic beverage.
So so anyway, Carnival celebration, 8-night cruise, 2 sea days, ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3, 2 more sea days, back to Miami. That was the itinerary of this cruise. I like that itinerary. G'day, Sean. We did do some proper Vegemite tasting on there. There's Gina. And yeah, I like the itinerary on a ship this size because there's so much to do on these XL ships. There's and by so much to do, I mean there's so much to eat on these XL ships. There's also a lot of stuff to do, but there is a lot of food to be eaten on these ships, and you just can't eat it all. I don't care who you are. You just can't. You just don't have time.
Especially
unless you have that time thingy that Hermione uses.
I have to say, especially after you've been like dieting for months and your stomach has shrunk. Man, it's hard.
That's rough. But yes, I do like it though. Also, I like the 2 days.
Sorry. Hi, Michael Ann. Welcome.
Hey, Michael Ann. I like the 2 sea days in the front. That's all right. It's kind of like 2.5 though, because you're on there most of the embarkation day.
Right.
So I think I'd rather get another port stop in there. But the 2 sea days on the back are nice because that gives you 1 full sea day to relax before you have to think about the dreaded heart towel and getting off the ship and all that sort of thing. So that's that. Hello, Muncie channel. Hello from London, Ohio. Hello, greetings. So yeah, so I like that. Now I guess the ideal itinerary for me would be if it was an 8-night cruise. Ideally, it'd be longer. Would be to have sea day, port stop, sea day, port stop. Sea day. That's what I would. That would be the bomb. That would be the bomb. Now here's the thing: you can't do that going to ABC Islands.
No,
because you takes too long to get there. You can't do that, so it doesn't work. So that's fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying if I had my druthers, that would be if I could somehow speed up cruise ship travel. That's what I would do. But it was great. It was really nice. It's nice to you get on the ship, you just relax. You're not worried. For me, I don't know if I should speak for Kimbra, but for me, I'm always like, oh, do I have everything charged? Am I ready for my adventures? I didn't have to, like the first day, I was like, it's all good. I got a whole nother day. I'm good. So that's what we did.
Michael Ann says, just dropping in, going back to watch karaoke. Have a good night. Awesome.
Enjoy the karaoke.
Enjoy.
So let's talk about embarkation.
Okay.
This was a full sold out cruise ship.
Yes.
We got our time, which was what was it like 9:30 a.m.
Yeah.
We're platinum, and so the problem with this particular cruise is that there were something like how many platinums were on this cruise?
So
because it was kind of there was a group cruise going on.
Right. So
the big sexy flashback.
Here's what I know. I know that there were over 1,000 platinum, but I also saw that there were over 2,000 diamond and platinum.
Oh wow.
So
yeah,
like like a third of the ship was diamond and platinum.
Yeah. And this is and here's the thing with that is that because it's a flagship for Carnival and it's a nice long itinerary, you're going to attract more seasoned cruisers that are going to do these longer, nicer cruises on the bigger, nicer ships. That is part of it. That's fine. We got there we got through pretty easily, but there was no room in the platinum space.
No.
Like we had a hard time finding a place to sit. We didn't find a place to sit, right?
No, we stood.
We stood the whole time. And then, okay, the others, they did faster to the fun because they're not platinum, not yet. No, they did faster to the fun, and they actually got on board before we did.
Yeah, they were on the ship before we were.
So what's up with that, Carnival? It was very close though. It was almost the same time. So that I'm really just jesting here. I'm not really complaining about that. But Stacy said I saw that platinum point,
Yeah.
Kimbra. But it was kind of interesting because this is not the first time that since I've been platinum. This is my second platinum cruise, right?
This is your third platinum
My
cruise.
third platinum cruise, and I have had other experiences where people that didn't even have faster than fun have gotten to do things.
Yeah, like people with blue cards.
Yeah. So I mean, whatever. I don't really care. Where I would care is where it really matters, which is stuff like that. Sometimes there were long lines in the guest services. We didn't have to do that at all on this cruise, but the platinum diamond faster than fun line was not nearly as long, if anybody was there at all. And there were no shuttlecrafts, water shuttles on this. We've been watching a lot of Star Trek on this cruise, so that didn't come into play. That would be a time where if I got pushed back going to like Grand Cayman, I might get my panties in a bunch a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's just because I can't wait to get on to the island. But it was fine. No, it was fine. It went fairly smoothly, other than the large crowd of people that seemed to make me think it wasn't going to go well at first, because I was like, wow, there's a lot of freaking people here. What's the ship going to be like? Because the only time we sailed on XL was Mardi Gras, and it was like, what, like a half full or something like that? It was right after COVID.
It was
as if COVID ended.
August of 2021.
Yeah, so I was a little concerned, but I'm just gonna, spoiler alert, it was fine. There were less times on this ship that I felt it was congested than I have experienced on smaller ships with not full people. Full people. Everybody's full on a cruise.
Everybody's full.
Full of people. Yeah. So so that was good. So that's good. The ship can handle it. Now, of course, on day one, there's congestion and all that, but
it really wasn't that bad.
It wasn't. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. And part of that is because the nice thing about this cruise for us is that the two of us and the four that we were cruising with are all very experienced cruisers. So we know what to expect. We know what we need to do, and we know how to avoid some of those hot spots. But honestly, like, I feel like Carnival really managed this pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say. Yeah, I really do. Thinking about it now, like I didn't feel that, because I'm a little concerned about that for the wedding cruise, not for us, but because we have a lot of people who've never cruised, and you know how that first day can go.
Right.
And so we have people who are like, they're not cruising necessarily because they like really wanted to go on a cruise. They're cruising because they wanted to go on our wedding cruise. And so they may be a little iffy about the cruise. And then if they get on and they have this like horrible stress experience on the first day, it could set the tone. I'm a little concerned about that. We have to talk them through that.
It's also going to be a little bit different because it's not the normal just embarkation.
Right. We should be able to dodge some of that because we'll be getting on
early
before everyone else. And also, when I say the first day, I don't really mean the first day. I mean like the first few hours.
Yeah.
Because really, by the time you're ready for sail away, things have usually settled down. It's just those first hours. If you're going on a cruise and you're concerned about that, my advice, which is counter to what I would normally say, would be to get there later in the embarkation process. And then you'll avoid some of that congestion and stuff.
All right. We've got some stuff here. You have to stop talking for a second. Hello, cruise nuts. Welcome. And then a Muncie channel says, what ship would be the best for our first Carnival cruise? We've only been on one cruise, Norwegian Breakaway.
So I would say, based on the fact that you were on the breakaway, honestly, unless you're looking for a smaller ship experience, I would definitely recommend one of the XL ships.
Yeah.
Right now, that's Mardi Gras and Celebration. Soon it'll be Jubilee. I think based on that one ship comparison, that's going to be the most similar. That's not to say that you should only stick with that. I mean, you may like smaller ships. I do have an affinity in my heart for smaller ships. So it depends on what experience you're looking for. But know this, although I will say that the XL ships are definitely Carnival. Like, and by that I mean I felt like I was on a Carnival cruise 100%. They are on a different level than other Carnival cruises. Not as big of a difference from, like, say, Vista class, but still a difference, and a pretty big difference from some of the older ships. And that's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. I'm saying different, not better, not worse. There's things that are better. There's things that I like the smaller ships for. But I think if the variety of things to do, food to eat, to get near that breakaway experience is, I think XL is probably what I would recommend. If you like the XL, if you like the breakaway. That's what I'd say.
Stacy says, I was pleasantly surprised with the crowd management offered by the design of the ship.
Yep.
Yeah, there's so many different places that people can spread out to. They're not all rushing to that buffet, which is nice.
And there are a lot of food options on these XL class ships, and they are spread out. They're not all in the same.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
So you just by that alone, you start splitting people up, because people know. I mean, they watch the YouTubes, they do their research, they go on Facebook, they know. Not everybody on these big ships are going to go straight to the buffet. That's a thing of the past. Or on older, smaller ships, they're going to Guy's Burger, they're going to Big Chicken, they're going to Street Eats, they're going to Blue Iguana, they're going to Guy's Barbecue. Divide and conquer. That's what you're going to get. So that relieves some of the pressure, I think, off of that. Everybody goes to deck 9 for the buffet, and it just becomes like sort of a 4-hour nightmare until everything chills out and becomes wonderful. So that's what I say about that.
Billy says the Vista class would be good for first-time cruisers, not small and not huge. Yeah. I also think it's older and smaller, but the Spirit class. Because of the design and the layout of that ship. Yeah. It kind of has that same kind of vibe, just in a smaller version.
Yeah, I would agree. If you're looking for an older, a little bit more old school cruise feel on a little bit smaller crowd, I would say that the Spirit class is definitely the way to go.
I feel like the XL class is like a more advanced Spirit class.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, a lot
like a more modern Spirit class,
and there's a lot more amenities.
Well, yeah.
But again, like for me, there is a value to just being able to sit on an empty deck and smell the sea air and watch the waves. Like, I dig that. I could do that for like a whole day, and I'd be cool. Like, give me my iPad, a little bit of shade, an occasional drink, and I'm happy. Not that I don't enjoy all the other stuff, because I do, but sometimes, like on this ship, there was so much to do. Like, we didn't do a lot. Like, we had to almost force ourselves to do a little bit of downtime, and that's fine. But that's two different experiences. And again, I'm not saying one's good, one's bad. I'm just saying they're different. And so sometimes I like A, sometimes I like B, sometimes I want a little bit of both. So, and you can make that choice, but it's hard when you're like, there's roller coaster, mini golf, trivia,
there was
multiple
so much
hot tubs.
Trivia on this cruise.
There's a lot of trivia. It was not trivial. The trivia was not trivial.
Yeah. CruiseNut says, fantastic cruising. Did you guys see our latest video of us swimming with 25+ foot whale sharks?
I will be honest with you. I saw it pop up while we were on the cruise. I have not had a chance to watch it yet. But I think I did look enough to see that was that on the West Coast? I feel like it was on the West Coast. But I did see the thumbnail, but I didn't watch a lot of YouTube while I was on the cruise. I think that's when I saw it. I'm pretty sure that's when I saw it. Or because this week's been a blur.
It's been crazy. Like we got back Sunday, and then my mom came into town, and we had a couple days doing stuff with her, and then we've been working for 3 days. I feel like I know we're back from vacation, but I feel like I haven't really had a minute to recoup.
But I will check it out. And I would like to share notes with you about whale shark experiences. That would be fun to do. Okay. I don't even remember all the stuff that we did on the first day. I'm going to tell you, we did vlog a little bit, but we have one tragedy from this cruise, and that is we apparently left. We filmed mostly with the new Action Osmo 4 Action DJI, whatever the order it goes in. But we filmed a little bit with one of our GoPro Hero 8s, and apparently we left it somewhere in the room. Apparently, we filmed out a lost and found, but it had a little bit of our vlog footage on it, I think, because I can't find the very beginning vlog footage, and it had our comparison video of underwater against the Osmo, which is the most disappointing part of it for me. But we'll get to that. So
yeah.
What do you want to talk about next?
I don't know.
So I don't remember all the stuff that we did though on those first 2 sea days, because we did so much.
We did a lot.
We did a lot of things. We ate a lot of food. One of the cool things about the XL class ships right now is that some of the restaurants that will probably be pay restaurants in the future.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. I'm sorry. CruiseNet says time to upgrade to a GoPro Hero 12. We're probably not going to do that because we just got the DJI Action 4. And
yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I forgot what it is.
I'm sorry.
You derailed me.
Food options.
Paid food options. So right now, you can go to Cucina, Shebang, and Barbecue one time for no extra fee, right?
Not entirely true.
No?
That is mostly true. Remove the barbecue.
Oh, not the barbecue.
You can go to barbecue as many times as you want.
Oh, okay. Even better. So you can go to barbecue as many times as you want. But Shebang and Cucina, you can do one time with no extra fee. And then if you want to go back, then you pay the fee, which I don't know.
It's $8.
That's it?
Yeah.
It's $8?
$8 to do it again and again and again.
Wow.
On the XL class ships right now.
Well, that's the only ships that have Shebang.
Yes, but like if you go to Cucina on the Horizon, it's I think $15 or $18.
Oh, okay.
So
that's what I thought it was.
Different.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So yeah. So I'm trying to think if there anything stood out specifically that we did on those first 2 sea days. And
I don't even know what we did.
It was a long cruise, but
I just kind of did I just kind of took it in. Like,
yeah.
We haven't had a vacation since March, so we just vacationed.
Yeah, but it was good. So we did eat at all those places plus teppanyaki.
Yeah.
So let's talk about food on the ship, because I know that our shipmates were not overwhelmed by the MDR food.
Right, because the Celebration has the new menus.
Well, yes, it has the new menus, which they didn't care for. And the food quality was, it was fine. It wasn't bad, but for what we're used to in the past, it felt a little wanting at times, I would say. What was your opinion on the new menus? Let's say up front, we only ate in the main dining room 3 times.
Right.
Not necessarily because of that, but
it did factor into it.
It did, yeah. It did.
So I think the new menus are probably good for people that like seafood.
Yeah,
because
if you like gills.
They have added more seafood options and removed some of the non-seafood options.
However, some of our friends that didn't like it do eat seafood, and they still were not real happy about it.
Yes. A lot of that was because of maybe what it came with.
Yeah.
So like there was one night that it was some sort of fish, but then the side items they weren't real excited about.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I don't really want that because then I'm just getting a piece of fish on a plate.
Right. Right.
So now for me, as long as they slap a piece of broccoli on there, I'm okay. But they didn't do that every night either.
Yeah.
The other thing that I don't know if it just looked that way, but there was the first night and then there was another night, and I don't remember what the menu was, but the first night was some sort of beef something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a
was
block.
it short ribs?
Maybe it was like a block of beef. It was kind of weird looking, but whatever.
Yeah, I think that's what it normally
Yeah,
is.
that's fine. But then the last night, it was
The brisket.
something else.
It was a brisket.
And it
night.
looked
like the short ribs.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The food that I had in the MDR was okay, and with one exception, the 2 nights I had food in the MDR, it was okay. It was fine. It wasn't memorable. It was edible.
The chicken cordon bleu was really good.
Yeah, it was fine, but I wasn't even that part of it too. I wasn't even that hungry because I'd eaten so much other food.
Yeah.
But I will say I ordered the Indian because I like Indian food a lot. And I usually get Indian at least once, if not 2 or 3 times on a cruise. And they changed that a little bit to where it used to be you get this big plate with rice and like 3 little plates. It was like a lot. It was like for if you're at a table with a lot of people, then it was a lot. But now they simplified it. They have it's on 1 plate and it's less variety, but I'm okay with it because it was really good. And it was easier to manipulate. Sometimes I don't get the Indian food if we're with like strangers in a big table because I'm like, I don't want to like take the spread of the table with my curry. So, so that I thought was a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the main. That was the main.
Do you want
dining
more
room.
of that?
Sure, a little bit. Yeah.
I was just gonna bring it in.
Oh, okay. So that was the main dining room. So we ate at, like I said, we ate at 1, 2, 3 specialty restaurants. We didn't eat at the steakhouse. Was it 3 or 4? Why am I stumbling?
What are
on this
you?
now?
I don't know.
How many specialty restaurants did we eat at?
4.
4. Okay, 4. I'm forgetting one, but it'll come to me. So
the paid one.
No,
and
not
the other 3.
Yeah. Okay. Cucina. I'm forgetting about Cucina. Okay. So let's start with Cucina.
Okay.
Because we've eaten at Cucina del Capitano before for dinner. And we've been very pleased with that meal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was...
Oh, that's right. Oh, we didn't do that for dinner though.
What?
Okay. Nothing.
Oh. And I felt like it was a normal Cucina experience for me. You had a little bit different experience with Cucina this particular trip.
I did. Yeah. So the chicken parmesan is like one of my favorite things from Cucina, and this chicken parmesan was very greasy. It was like sitting in a pile of grease, which wasn't very. I mean, it was fine, but I didn't not finish my meal because I was full. I didn't finish it because it didn't stack up to what it's been previously.
And that's a problem because Cucina is usually really, really good. So I'm not sure. Maybe it was an anomaly. You know, we'll definitely eat there again. But at the same time, like I got the short ribs there, which is what I always get at Cucina, and it's amazing. But then when I eat the short ribs in the MDR, obviously it's not as good, which I don't expect it to be. But when I'm not paying for Cucina, now I'm like, oh, well, now I'm getting these both included. And I know it's kind of an extra add-on, but still, it changes my perception of it a little bit. But it was fine.
We also didn't get the yummy buttery hot roll.
Oh, that's true. Now that's a John Heald post there.
Yeah. Where's my garlic butter rolls? Okay. I want to say a couple of things here that people have said. Stacy says, my food in the NDR was pretty good. Nothing spectacular, but good.
That's kind of how I felt,
He
Stacey.
said, I really like the emerald dishes I had on the first night.
Mm.
Right. So that's one of the things that they added to the menus is they added
Right.
some emerald options.
Yeah, and Stacy did like the MDR more
Yeah.
than everyone else, I think, or more than the yeah. So yes, and he likes seafood, and they were seafood options, I believe.
Yeah. Amunzi Channel says Norwegian had some pretty good food, although we didn't try any of the specialty dining options. And Captain Billy says, I'll pass on the chicken parm next month. That's my go-to usually.
I mean,
But
try it.
Give it a chance.
It could have been an anomaly, you know.
But yeah, I was a little disappointed.
I don't know.
I was real excited.
I will say, I did talk to a random lady who just started talking to me about cucina for some reason, and she also was like, she's eaten there many times, and this time she didn't like it. So I don't know.
When was that?
When I was in line waiting for your food.
Waiting for my food.
Waiting for your food, yes.
Just to point out, you also got food.
But yeah, so I thought it was a normal experience, except for the lack of the delicious bread. But there was bread, and it was good, but it wasn't the same.
I'm gonna say these real quick as well. Guys Burgers and Blue Bono look really good. They are indeed.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that too.
We like to pay for added charge to eat at the specialty dining. That's just I mean, sometimes it's worth it.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
You really do get what you pay for. And so normally we will pay to eat at Cucina. A lot of times we'll do the steakhouse. We'll pay, and we didn't do that.
We didn't do that this time.
We didn't need to because there were so many options. So we also ate at the barbecue place. And I'm not doing these in order we ate at them for a reason. The barbecue place, I've eaten there before. You can kind of pick your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, honestly, this was probably I've never disliked the barbecue, but this is probably the best experience I ever had in the barbecue as far as food quality goes.
Interesting.
My food was probably as good, maybe a little better than I've experienced in the past.
The mac and cheese was really good. I got 3 sides of mac and cheese because you choose 3 sides, and the mac and cheese was the only one that I wanted, so I got 3 of them. I've actually, how many times we've had barbecue on multiple cruises?
Yeah, 3,
I've
4,
never
maybe.
been crazy excited about any of the times we've had it, and this time didn't change that.
Didn't change it. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, and I would say,
honestly, I would have preferred to have a bun so that I could put my barbecue on it.
Yeah, as far
maybe
as
that's what it is.
Well, I mean, if I'd have to pay for barbecue, I'd have been like, if everybody else wants to, that's fine. Getting it included, it was a nice change up, and I do like it. But the thing about that is, I could go to one of the local barbecue places here, and it's going to be
the apple pie is good,
better,
or the apple cobbler is
good. It's also going to be a lot more expensive.
Mac and cheese is good.
Yeah.
And
I thought the brisket was
the apple cobbler is warm compared to Cucina's apple dessert, which is cold.
Well, those Italians don't know what they're doing.
It's wrong. Apple desserts need to be warm.
Okay, all right.
So, just saying.
So then the other included restaurant that we did
is Chibang.
Is Chibang. Now, we ate at Chibang for lunch, which is a different menu typically, and we
on the Mardi Gras.
We didn't love it. It didn't leave us wanting more.
Although the flan was good. The
flan was very good. This time it was included for dinner, so we've heard such good things about it, so we're like, let's try it. Bar none, best dinner on the cruise. Like, you didn't like the chicken mole, but that was a
taste thing. It had nothing to do with. I'm sure people that like mole loved it.
Everything else, and we did one entree of the Chinese, and then we did most of our other things. That I think everybody at the table got mostly Mexican food primarily. There were a few Chinese.
I got
options.
One from each menu for each section.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, did I do that too? Maybe I did.
Yeah.
Okay, it just seemed more Mexican. The only thing that seemed Asian to me was the Kung Pao. chicken that I had, which was really good.
Your
by the
pork
way.
belly was the Asian.
Oh, was that Asian?
Yeah.
I didn't associate that with Asian, but okay. So everything I had was great. The dessert was not my favorite. It was like an orange flavored creme brulee. It was good, but I was hoping for that flan.
How about your drink?
The drink was really good. I don't remember what it was
Red
called.
Dragon
The
Margarita?
Red Dragon Margarita, which was also from the Asian menu, I guess. It was pretty good. But let me tell you, the pork belly, it made me cry. It was so good. It was so good. It was like the best parts of a well marbled steak cooked perfectly and a perfectly cooked piece of bacon combined. That's what it was like for me. It was just amazing. It was tears to my eyes.
I enjoyed my lettuce wraps.
That's right. You got the lettuce wraps. Those were pretty good.
Those
Yeah.
were so good. How did
Yeah.
you know they were good? You didn't try them.
Because you said they were good.
They were real
So,
good.
yeah.
And then whatever that cheese thing was. It was
Queso fundido.
yeah, well it was cheese that I stuck into a tortilla. It was good. I'm gonna read some of these comments real quick before it goes off the screen.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
CruiseNut says pig and anchor to us is reheated barbecue food. And he says, yay for mac and cheese. I will have to get some for sure. Recommended. Smokehouse was just okay to me. Not something I would choose again. The meat and sauce is good, but sides I don't care for. Billy says, I wouldn't pay for the barbecue on Carnival, but I'll eat it for free.
That's kind of where we're at, I think.
And Anita says, I agree. Apple desserts are better warm. That's right. And a Muncie Channel is talking about group cruises with Captain Billy. Gina says, the only ship I've loved barbecue on was the Glory, but that was old-fashioned barbecue, not guys pig and
Interesting.
anchor.
Okay. Interesting.
Stacy says, guys, or that doesn't say guys at all.
Does not.
Shebang was pretty good.
Yeah. Shebang
Gina says the spring rolls were so good.
See, that's shebang.
And Gina says that I wanted to pay the $8 and eat there again. If we had more days, I probably would have done that.
Honestly, like hindsight is 2020. Like I would have eaten there. I would have paid $8 and eaten there 2 or 3 times easily.
Yeah.
Easily. Because there were more things on that menu. That's the other thing. For me, Cucina has one entree that I'm interested in. Because I'm not a pasta guy.
Right.
But that menu had a lot. And that's a subjective personal thing, but it had a lot that I would like to try.
Captain Billy says, I didn't care for shebang on Mardi Gras. Food was bland. Service was terrible. My entree was never even brought out.
Oh, wow.
We will give it another try on Celebration. Do it. Give it another chance. Because we were very surprised.
Because we didn't like our lunch experience very much, but our dinner experience was quite good. So yeah, let us know what you think.
Norwegian's MDR pretty much served buffet food, we thought. Gina has some stuff talking about teppanyaki, but we haven't gotten there yet, so I'm not going to read it.
But that's where we're going next, right?
See, there was a barbecue place on the Freedom that was excellent. I suggested it for the last night, but the MDR unfortunately went. Aw. All right, go.
So then the one paid restaurant we did was the Bonsai Teppanyaki, which is like a Japanese steakhouse kind of thing, dinner and a show sort of a deal where the guys like singing and chopping and stuff like that. And you chose you had a little bit of options as to what you like your main entree.
That was your option.
That was your option. So everything else is like they're giving you this stuff.
It's a 7-course meal.
Mm-hmm.
There's 5 appetizers, your main course, the entree, and then
appetizers being kind of a loose term there, but yes.
Then your dessert.
Yeah. So if you are a fan of seafood, shrimp, lobster, I don't remember what else had, then people seem to really like it. If you don't like the seafood, you're not going to get as much out of it. Now,
I disagree with that.
You disagree,
but you can continue,
okay.
And then I will share my thoughts.
My take is they did accommodate us and we didn't really push them to, but they really made an effort to accommodate us with the appetizers because 2 or 3 of them were seafood based.
One of them was seafood.
No, there was at least 2. There was at least 2 things that they did differently for us.
Okay.
But they did accommodate us for that, and then the accommodations were decent accommodations. They were also very concerned about how they cooked the food because they cook it on the big grill and they didn't want to mix the seafood with our food. I told them I'm not allergic to seafood. I just don't like it. Don't worry about it mixing a little bit. It's not going to kill me, literally. But they were very conscientious of that, and I do appreciate that
Yeah.
because, like for example, the fried rice that they made when they went to do seconds, the guy was serving it with a thing he had just done the very stinky shrimp with, and I was like, I'm going to give that a hard pass because I was afraid I'm very sensitive to the fish taste, so I was afraid it would have got me. But other than that, it's pretty good. I got the steak, and did I get the chicken too?
Yep.
And the chicken, it was good. It was good. The dessert, green tea ice cream, it was like a bento box of stuff. Okay, so there were 6 things, I think, 6 or 8, 6, and I think I liked the green tea ice cream. And the rest of it, I don't think I really liked anything that much. But so for me, would I do it again? If I was with a group of people and they wanted to do it, I would absolutely do it again. I didn't hate the experience. There was some good food there. I wouldn't choose it myself. It's not my thing. I would try a local place because I feel like it'd be a little bit different. But yeah, it was all right. If you like seafood, I think you'll really enjoy it, and the price isn't that bad for an extra cost. The quality of the food is good. Yeah, but apparently you have a different opinion.
I do have a different opinion.
So let them know.
So
You can't disagree with me. That's not
I
allowed.
do. So the fried rice was like my favorite part of that meal.
Kimber's never had. She didn't even eat fried rice before me. So
I mean, I still don't typically choose fried rice, but
because she's like, oh, there's like green things in it.
This didn't have green things in it.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
It most certainly did.
It was the best.
It was very good.
Absolutely delicious.
But it was fried rice.
I could have eaten that as my entire meal over and over and over again. As far as the appetizers go,
we're gonna buy a wok, so then it'll be all right. It was good fried rice.
It was a spicy tuna that they gave us something different for.
Yes, we got
and they actually
edamame and
veggie roll.
And the veggie roll was okay.
The veggie roll was basically avocado wrapped in like rice.
It was a way for me to get pickled ginger and wasabi into my mouth, so I did appreciate that.
But they came over and offered that to us. You picked one, I picked the other, and then they ended up bringing both for both of us.
They did.
So that was really great. And then the other one was a pork belly thing on a seaweed salad, and they just took the seaweed salad out and gave us the pork belly.
Yeah, but the pork belly was not like the pork belly in Japan. It was good, but it was not.
I will say that the steak that they did was some of the best steak I've ever had.
Oh, really?
I loved that steak.
I thought the steak was like on par with what I get in the MDR.
Oh, that steak was real good.
Maybe yours was cooked better.
Maybe.
I heard it medium rare.
That's what I got too.
But mine was okay, but it was fine.
The chicken was
Yeah, the chicken was. I would just get steak. If I did it again, I would just get double steak.
And the dessert was fine. They did have that drink. What was it? The strawberry vodka drink.
I think it was cranberry. I think he said cranberry.
Well,
but everybody
it was
thought
pretty
it was
good.
strawberry.
I don't know.
Yeah. It was okay. It tastes like Kool-Aid to me.
So, I mean, if I could just eat the fried rice and the miso soup.
Oh, that was, I will say that was very good.
That would be the ideal meal for me.
That was very good.
The miso soup, fried rice, and the steak. That would be, I could eat that for a week straight and be happy.
If I could do the miso soup, the steak, give me the ginger and the wasabi, and I'll eat it with the steak and the fried rice. Also give it to me at the same time. I think that might have been the inexperience of our chef, but like we never got 2 things at the same time. It seemed a little disconnected, but I think that was because we had a brand new
he'd only been there for 2 weeks.
And then just give me the green tea ice cream and we're good. And then I'd be good with that.
Yeah.
I'd be good with that.
All right, I'm going to read some of these. CruiseNet says, Rudy's seafood on Carnival is good. We thought,
Again,
I'll take your word for it.
yeah, we don't like seafood, so it wouldn't be good for us. But if you do, I've heard good things about that as well.
Stacy says I wasn't really impressed with teppanyaki. Sorry, JP. The steak was good, but I didn't really care for them most of the rest. Yeah.
It was all right.
Billy, did they substitute your appetizers with some goldfish?
That'd be
I would
seafood,
have been
wouldn't
okay
it?
with that. This is a lot of great information and opinions.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Fried rice usually has peas in it. There were no
Yep.
peas.
This one had, I think it had chives in it.
Yay on the fried rice. Man, that fried rice. Ugh.
It might have had peas in it.
Hey, there's Kevin. Counts. You
Whoa.
go, Kimbra. I don't eat food with green stuff in it either.
I mean, jalapenos. Come on.
I would assume Jubang has some good fried rice.
I don't know that I saw
Yeah, I'm
fried
not sure.
rice on that.
I
It
know
might have
Jen
been.
had white rice.
The thing about the fried rice that made it so good.
Sorry, there's just one more that I want to read before
Okay.
we go away. Captain says, did they have yum yum sauce? They did, but I liked the other sauce better.
Yeah, I did too. I like the other one better, but
Okay.
but they didn't have it.
Now you can talk.
The thing that made the fried rice so good at teppanyaki is that they made it fresh right there. The rice was cooked very well. You know, it wasn't dry. It wasn't overcooked.
And it was slathered with
butter.
Sexy butter.
Sexy.
They call it sexy butter.
Sexy butter.
And soy sauce.
Too sexy for this butter. Too sexy for this.
Yes,
what?
Soy sauce.
Soy sauce.
And I love soy sauce.
Yeah.
There's Paul. Yo, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
What up?
Kevin, do we have a moderator in here that can knock Kevin out for that?
Aw. Cruising with Keith says, good evening, everyone.
Hey, Cruising with Keith.
Do you think it's hot in here?
It's real hot in here. I wasn't going to say anything.
Because we're too sexy
usually,
for this butter?
We're just too hot for this table. But yeah, so look, I mean, again, and opinions is a very good way to describe it. Sexy butter is my stage name. That's good. These are opinions, and if we say something was really good or not really good, I would not base your decisions on that. I would take it into consideration, but you may have very different tastes than we do. And so what we love, you may not like, and vice versa.
Well, and an off night could change things.
It could absolutely change things. So this is just our experience and our opinion. So please don't limit yourself because of what we say is what I'm saying. Experience it for yourself. But this might steer you a little bit if you're like, oh, I can kind of relate to that or not relate to that, that sort of thing. So, okay. Other food on the ship. Street eats. We only ate there once, which I regret because it just the timing never works for street eats with us. But the one time we tried to eat another time, but it was like fishy stuff and stuff that.
And we tried another time and it wasn't open yet.
Even though they said like 2:00 and it was
and
like
it was
noon,
open like
and it was
right
open
after
like
that.
12:30. But
yeah.
But the time that we ate at Street Eats, and I got the little, what's that thing called?
A bow.
A bow? Oh my God, that was good. That was real good.
That was real good.
That was one of my favorite things I've ever had on a cruise ship. It was so delicious. And they had a bow. I think bows were at that most of the time, but sometimes they were filled with gills.
Right.
And other times they weren't. So I would really like to try Street Eats more. The fries don't really appeal to me that much, which is weird because I like fries a lot, but I don't know. Street Eats, I'm not looking for French fries. I'm looking for like something different.
Yeah, the fries were a little disappointing.
Yeah, they felt like something I could have mixed up myself on the buffet. But I say that, and I think we only tried the fries once. So take that with a grain of
Gina says,
salt.
I think between the six of us, we had the most diverse sense of taste of food preferences. I agree with that.
Yeah, we did have a lot of diversity in our
It was very
palates.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that we got was something else, but it had a salad, and that salad was really good. And it was like 3 pieces of lettuce, but it was real good.
So let's talk about the other food on the ship. Shacks, guys,
blue iguana.
Because these are the Carnival staples.
I'm sorry, just real quick. The first day.
No, I'm sorry, there isn't time.
Okay. When we first got on, we went to Shacks, so we can talk about Shacks first. But on the buffet, they also had mac and cheese. And if you can
Oh,
tell
yeah.
from earlier, I love
Only that
mac and
first day,
cheese.
right?
Well, that's my point here. It was delicious
Mhm.
mac and cheese. I ate my mac and cheese, and then I went back for more. But they didn't have it any other day on the ship.
Yeah.
So that was disappointing. I just want
Yeah.
to point out John Heald, Carnival, more mac and cheese.
Okay, more mac and cheese.
Okay,
You
let's
heard
talk
it
about
here
Big
first.
Chicken.
Big Chicken. One of the things I was looking forward to the most, getting back on this XL class ship. You know, I'm a burger guy, but I do like a good chicken sandwich, and that's what they give you at Shaq's. I think, like I said, most of this is our opinion, but this is not. This is just factual right here. Shaq's Big Chicken are good chicken sandwiches. If you disagree with me, then you're wrong. But no, but seriously, it's good stuff. And I don't know. Did you feel like the lunch chicken was up to par with what you had experienced on the Mardi Gras? Was it better? Was it worse? Was it the same? What was your take?
I think Mardi Gras was better.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a couple reasons to think that. But
Okay. You're talking about lunch.
well, Big Chicken in general.
Okay. I'm not talking about breakfast.
I'm talking across the board.
Okay.
I feel the same way
'Cause
across the board for it.
Okay. Okay. Lunch, I would say it was really good. I'd say I wasn't as blown away by it because I think I already had that experience, but it was good. I liked it. I went back several times. I am looking forward to eating it again. That's what I would say about
I'm
lunch.
not
at Big
saying it
Chicken.
wasn't good.
Yeah. You did.
Hi, Dive.
Dive. Hi, Dive.
Hi, Dive.
Hi, Dive. How you doing, Dive?
I love Shaq's Big Chicken. My issue is I feel like the shapes of the chicken didn't work for sandwiches, which I don't
they-
feel was the case.
They were different on the Mardi Gras?
I feel like they were like
They're big
patties.
chunks of chicken.
Yeah, this was like a chunk of chicken
I
between.
think it was the same.
I don't know.
I think it was the same. I think you're.
I mean, the last day that we had
I
it,
think you're
I almost
crazy.
just got chicken tenders because I didn't want to deal with it.
Okay. I mean, I feel like that was the
But
thing.
the barbecue ranch is phenomenal.
And the Shack sauce is my jam. I will say I wish that jalapeno slaw was a little bit spicier, but none of the sandwiches are really that spicy, which is kind of unfortunate, but still very good. The breakfast was not as good as I remembered it being, and part of that was the way they assembled it.
You only had it once.
I had it
correct?
twice.
You had it twice.
Mhm. At
Oh.
least twice.
Okay.
It was still good. I will go back on Mardi Gras. I will have Shaq's chicken for breakfast at least 1 or 2 days.
I
But
think I had it 3 or 4 times.
but the first day was real bad, and
the
that
first
was
day was
because
weird.
the dude didn't know what he was doing.
That was not the case for any of the other times I went there.
Well, the other time I went, it was better, but it still wasn't great. So I think I had the same guy though.
Okay. So the first day he put the butter stuff on the biscuit and he put the fries in the bottom. He put the butter stuff on the biscuit and then he stuck a piece of chicken in there and then poured some of the honey on top. Honey syrup. It was like, this is not a sandwich.
No, it was like a biscuit and a chicken.
But it wasn't even like the chicken wasn't dunked in the honey syrup.
No.
All the other times that I went,
it was all on the
they dunked it.
fries, which it was good on the fries.
So
but
I
that's not
actually
what
went back one day and just got fries with the honey
Mhm.
syrup on it. It's delicious.
Yeah,
The honey syrup is so good.
it's very good. I thought it was spicy though, and it wasn't spicy this time.
I don't remember it being spicy.
Maybe that.
But
was just
that was like
in my
2 years ago.
my wish, my dreams. I do like
Hi,
it.
Brandy.
Hey, Brandy. I do like it. I will eat it again. I am looking forward to eating it again.
Oh.
But I will say the breakfast was.
Billy says it was a chunk of chicken on Mardi Gras. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just new and I was excited on Mardi Gras.
I think my problem with it this time, and I say problem, and that's not the right word to use. The reason it was maybe not as exciting for me this time is because I was so surprised at how much I liked it on that first one, that this time I liked it, but it wasn't that, oh my God, this is so much better than I thought it was going to be.
That could be it because it was so good, and I built it up so much, and I was so excited to have it again, and it didn't quite do it for me the same way
I think
that it did the first time.
I think I had the same experience with Guy's Burgers, but it's been so long now. The first time I had it, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I could eat as many of these.
Yeah.
And then the next time I was like, they don't seem like they're quite as good, but they're still good. I think it was the same thing. I don't think that the quality or anything was, I think it was just so like, oh my God, this is
all in your
so
head.
good. And then I'm built up for it. And I'm like, well, this is good, but I'm not like crying.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I could, if you put me on the ship and you were like, all you can eat this whole week is Shaq's Big Chicken and Guy's Burgers, I'd be like, that's cool. I'm good.
Honestly,
I'm good
you
with that.
wanted to go to Shaq's more than Guy's.
I did.
And you wanted to go to Shaq's more than me.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, I can get good burgers locally. I can get burgers that are better than Guy's Burgers, and I love Guy's Burgers, but I can get burgers that are better than Guy's Burgers locally. I don't know where I can get a chicken sandwich that I like more than Shaq's Big Chicken locally. There might be a place. I don't know what it is.
Mm.
So that's why I was so excited, I think, for Big Chicken.
Yeah.
And so it's good. So this is what I love about Carnival. These are two of the biggest reasons that I put Carnival above other cruise lines is because I do really like Guy's Burger, and I do, if I'm on the XL, like Shaq's. I mean, that even though it wasn't as overwhelming as the first time, it was still real good, and I was real excited about it. And then let's talk about Blue Iguana.
Okay, you only had it once, right?
I only had it once. I had it for lunch.
Right.
I didn't do the breakfast because there's other things I wanted to do for breakfast, but I do like the breakfast burritos. But you talk about, because I like Blue Iguana, but you are more of the Blue Iguana person than me.
Well, yes, and actually on the Pride, I discovered that there's more to Blue Iguana than breakfast burritos. There's also huevos rancheros.
Huevos rancheros.
And
arepas. Arepas. You got to roll the R.
Arepas.
Arepas.
And I like those better than the breakfast burritos.
Yeah, I do.
However,
I do too, I think. I mean, I like breakfast.
It was delicious, and I got it multiple times.
Yeah.
However, on this particular cruise, they had the huevos rancheros pre-made, and I would have chosen for them to not add the pico if it was up to me. I probably could have asked them to.
They probably would have
make it
from scratch for you.
Yes, but I didn't. It was fine. But there were a couple bites that I tasted big tomato chunks and cilantro, which
yummy.
Are not my thing. But of all of my breakfast, I would say that was probably my favorite. I love that Blue Iguana breakfast. Now, the tacos, on the other hand, were fine.
They were good. I mean, yeah, they're good. They're not. I'm not a big fan of street tacos.
Well,
but they're not street tacos because they're at least flour tortillas.
Yeah.
But they're not like my favorite tacos in the world. But they're good. I like them.
The first time I got it, the pork was like dry. It wasn't as dry the second time.
I was gonna say it wasn't bad for me.
And I think they changed their cheese that they offer on like the toppings bar, but you know, it is what it is. Overall, I can always recommend Blue Iguana.
Yeah, it's another solid option.
Yep.
Like if I had to eat Blue Iguana, if there was no Guy's Burger and no Big Chicken, I would eat Blue Iguana every day if for lunch, whatever. I'd be okay with that too. It's good stuff.
So do you want to jump into Guy's Burger? Because we have a comment.
Yeah.
Dave says the pepperoni pizza burger. Oh,
that was loud. Okay. No, we don't want to update your computer.
No, please don't do that. Can you not do this? How about we don't do this? Nope.
Nope. Just close it.
Just close it.
Just close it.
Let's not restart right now. The pepperoni pizza burger at Guy's on Venezia last week was great.
Interesting.
Okay.
I don't think we saw that option. Is that a Venezia option? Because I didn't see that option on there.
Stacy says, I don't even know where Blue Iguana is on Celebration. I never saw it. So
by the pool.
Well, it's like where Street Eats is, but on the opposite side of the ship.
Yeah. here's my only complaint about Guy's Burger. They took off the bacon and the mushrooms from the Vixen's bar. Mostly I'm complaining about the bacon because the pig patty is not the same. It was better on this one than I've had on other ones. It wasn't like a piece of charcoal on this one, but bring back the bacon. Come on, Carnival. Don't give me this bacon shortage hogwash. Bring back the bacon. But other than that, I love the Guy's layout on the XL class ships because it feels like it's its own
It's a separate space.
restaurant. And it's got a big, long queue space, so you're not like blocking everybody from getting through the buffet and the pool area. It's a really good experience. I really like Guy's Burger on the XL class ships. Yeah. The bacon was on vacation, Captain Billy said.
I only had Guys once.
Permanent vacation apparently. You only had Guys once? I think I had it 2 or 3 times.
You had it twice?
Twice?
I think I only sat in that area twice.
There's so much food.
Yeah.
There's so much food.
And then pizza is the other thing that we ate.
Pizza, we did eat the pizza. The pizza was like normal Carnival pizza for me. I know there's been some discussion about the pepperonis. They were back to the normal pepperonis.
And then they don't have the mushroom,
the fun guy, which I don't care about, but I know JT was upset about that.
It disappoints me a little bit because I always wanted that pizza and I never got it because it was like always they weren't making it or it was going to take a long time for them to make it. So I always just got pepperoni or cheese. I was like, oh, I'll get the mushroom one this time. Well, I didn't get it because they don't offer it, but that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say they also, of course, have the ice cream on the ship and the yogurt, which is delicious as always. I like that there are machines on very different decks because it's up near the top, kind of opposite of the
Actually,
chicken.
they have it on 17, 16, and 8.
Yeah, so there's a lot of options. There's a lot of opportunity. It's delicious. I mean, you walk by, you got to hit it. But the last 2 cruises, they stopped doing the chocolate strawberry combo. Instead, they're doing vanilla strawberry. What's that about? But I still ate it because it's still really good, and the sauce there is really good. It's good stuff, and I can very easily eat too much of it. So that's another cool thing. I mean, most of the cruise lines have that, except for I'm looking at you, MSC, and I'm looking at you, Virgin. But all the normal cruise lines have it. American cruise lines have it.
All right, and then what do you think about Emerald's?
Oh, so Emerald's is an a la carte.
It is.
Place like the Seafood Shack, which we can tell you nothing about.
Reasonably priced.
Very reasonably priced. Yep. If you want like that sort of Cajun-ish Emerald spin food, they've got it for you. They got beignets, which we had twice, which are very good.
They hit it. So no, fungi pizza. That's right, Les.
I know.
That's right.
It's less fun. That's what it is.
They do have some other options, and they were fine.
They're fine. Yeah, I just go with the pepperoni.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you want any more of this?
No, I don't. Not right now. But we're
drinking wine, by the way.
Yes.
Strawberry from Keel and Curly.
Yes. But they do have a lot of food. If you like Cajun, again, it's very heavy on the seafood, but our friends that like seafood said it was very good. So if you like that, they do have some non-seafood options. The only food we had besides beignets, and I had the bananas Foster, which was good. It was good. I like that. Was muffalata.
Right.
Muffalatas, if you're not familiar, are a New Orleans sandwich. They are very specific on these kind of round bread with different hams and stuff. I don't know all the details, but there's an olive salad that's thick. It's green olive heavy, which is really good. This was not a muffalata. It was good. I enjoyed it. If you would have said, hey, do you want this ham and cheese sandwich on fresh bread with a little bit of green olives? I'd have been like, yeah, let's try it. And I would have eaten it. I would have been like, that was awesome. I liked it. But if you say, you want a muffalata, like a real muffalata, and then you give me this, I'm going to say, no, sir. No, sir. This is not a muffalata. I'm sorry. I've been to New Orleans. So it was good. Yes. It was a muffalata. No. But I did enjoy
I
it.
wouldn't even go that far. I think I had 2 olives on my entire sandwich.
It was alleviated.
Yeah. But yes, it was a very good hot ham and cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
I would have probably eaten something else from somewhere else if I knew that there was no olives on it.
I mean,
beignets.
Like I said, if you would have given me that sandwich and not told me it was a muffalata, I'd have been like, because I had more olives, I guess, on mine because I could taste them, but barely. I'd have been like, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
But expecting a muffalata and getting a lotta, nothing. It was not a muffalata.
Yeah.
I'm just not. I don't care if you're trying to do your bam. No, you can't bam and knock all the olives off of a muffalata because you know what you've done? You've made it a not a lotta muffalata.
All right. They get the picture. Amunzi Channel says, how is the deli next to Miami Pizza on the XL ships? We didn't go there. We didn't have time.
We saw it.
We need more time on the ship to eat all of the
or a
food.
few more stomachs.
Yeah. So I'm sure it was fine.
I saw sandwiches from it. They looked good.
Stacy says the deli was okay, nothing great, but a good option. Yeah. And then Stacy says, is that some of your wine you didn't drink on the cruise? It is.
Well, yes, it is.
It very much is.
All right. So
I think that covers the food.
That definitely covers the food. So should we get into the islands? Because we haven't even gotten.
Well, let's ask them because we've been on for a little over an hour. So do you want us to tell you about what we did on the islands, or do you want us to save that until next time?
And now we wait. For
the delayed responses.
Well, while we're waiting, I'm going to tell you some other things that I really like about the XL class because I don't think I have much to complain about. I mean, you've heard me pick at things a little bit, but that's not the impression I want to give you. I really like the XL ships. I still really like them. I do still think Mardi Gras is my ship over Celebration because I like the fortune teller bar, but honestly, it's a very minimal difference to me. I will say that one of my favorite things about this ship are the hot tubs. The hot tubs are great on the ship because they're big.
And they are hot.
They are hot. They are plentiful, and they are in good locations.
Yep.
Very, very happy about the hot tub situation on the XL class ships. By far the best hot tub situation on Carnival. So.
Do you have anything about this particular ship or cruise that I'm going to say more specifically ship, like during not island excursion time, but ship time that you didn't like?
I don't think, I mean, my gripes were not really complaints. They were just like things I mentioned that maybe they were better on another ship, but pretty minor, petty things. Cruise director was wonderful. Check out JT's podcast, JT and Jen's podcast. Pardon me on that.
It's called Sea Days.
Yes, Sea Days.
FEA Dazed.
And it's also in the Fantastic Cruising community. You can see it linked there. He did an interview with Lee, the cruise director. It is a really, really good episode. It's the second episode, technically their third episode, but JT interviewed Lee. The one before that, he interviews Jen, which is also a very good episode. There's going to be another episode coming out soon where he interviewed Gina and Stacy and Kimber and myself, and of course Jen and JT were there as well. But definitely give his podcast some support and love. Give him a review on like iTunes if you use Apple stuff, but check it out just because it's good. It's good content. Yeah, I can't think. Nothing stands out to me as like anything I would complain about. Now we may be talking and be like, oh yeah, I didn't like that. But
I have one one issue, which I also talked about on JT's podcast.
Oh, I probably forgotten it.
So one of the things that I keep saying that I want to do more is read. And when we cruise,
yeah, okay.
I actually I finished a book. I started a book and I finished a book. And I enjoy reading, but for some reason when I'm home, I don't do it. As much as I think that I'm going to, I just don't. And one of the things that we struggled with is finding a quiet place with nobody else around and no music blaring where I could sit and read other than the cabin, which was an interior this time, so it wasn't ideal. If we had a balcony, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Non-issue, yeah.
But we could not find an outer deck. We could not find an inner space where there were quiet areas to sit and read.
Yeah.
That is my only complaint, I think, about the ship.
I have another complaint.
Okay.
We did the spa tour on day one, which I'm not going to lie, we very rarely ever do any of the spa treatments, but we do the spa tour. We go through the whole process. One, so we can see the spa area that we probably aren't using, but we do love. And two, because we get that 10-second massage sampling. So we did it. And instead of a massage sampling, and they were very busy, usually it's the hot stones. They put the hot stones, they rub them on your arm for a second. It's not even on your back. It's just like, that I can imagine how nice that would feel. And then they have the little bamboo thing, which neither of us actually like, but they rub it on your arm and they put it on your shoulder and you're like, oh yeah, I don't like this, but thank you. Well, they hand you a stone and they hand you the stick. The look on my face, I can imagine, would be the same look as a kid on Christmas morning opening up a present and finding a pair of socks. That's I think probably the expression that I had. I have
one more to point out on that.
Okay.
So one of the things that they were talking about was like something that they use, like some kind of cream or ointment or something. They passed around for everyone to smell. And we were sitting, there was like the bench here that wrapped around and they passed it to this person and then like around. We were sitting, there was like a break and then we were sitting like here. Those things never came to us. This person here
you get the smell.
At the end here, this person gave it to like the lady that was standing here and then she never gave it to us. So we didn't get to smell anything. Fine, don't care. Can't usually smell it anyway. But I didn't get the opportunity.
So there you go.
Did you feel that way about the smelly stuff?
I did feel like I wouldn't have even cared except the fact that we missed out. And then I wanted it. I wanted to smell it so bad.
I don't care. I usually don't care. But the fact that I didn't get it, I had a problem with.
Yeah, the spa is a quiet area, Billy, but if you don't pay for the spa, which
was actually priced very reasonably, and we would have done if we weren't cruising with the people we were cruising with.
If we weren't cruising with other people that weren't doing it. Nothing like personal against them. But yeah, so like we do have that on our wedding cruise because we'll spend some time in there. But yeah, that's my half-hearted complaint there. Yeah.
All right. So we had a few people. The Muncie channel said, tell us. Stacy said, let's talk about it. And Les said, tell us what you did on the islands. I'm retired. I got plenty of time. So that's 3 of the 17 listening. Let's do it.
Yes.
Nobody said no. So I take that as a yes.
Yeah. You know what? In a democracy, only the people that vote get heard. So that's the way it works. So we did the ABC Islands.
I'm sorry. Can we talk about that too?
You can talk about whatever you want.
You want to talk about it now? You want to talk
about
it?
No, go for it.
So we did a couple trivias. I'm sorry. I know we've gone off subject, but not really. We did a couple trivias. We did a general trivia, which we got close to winning. We got 16.
Was that just the 2 of us?
Wait an hour. Do not let that restart. Stop trying to restart. We got 16 out of 20, and I think the people that won had like 18.
Yeah.
We were pretty close, and we should have had 17 if Matt wouldn't have got that one question wrong.
Okay, who knew most of the answers?
It was wow. I'm pretty sure I knew more than you expected me to.
Well, yes.
You're welcome.
But did you know any that I didn't know?
Probably.
Okay.
How many How many beats are in a quarter note?
That was the music one. You did. I don't know the music stuff. So
Or something like how many notes
yeah.
are in a whatever it was.
You knew it. You
I
guessed
did.
correctly.
I did not guess, sir. Anyway,
Anyway,
we did a 90s music trivia, which
I was useless at.
well, it kind of turned into a if you sing, you get like 10 points, and if you dance,
yeah.
you get like 20 points. So it was like at some point, if you weren't like in the middle of the floor showing off, you should just leave.
Look, Captain Billy.
It was fun.
Captain Billy's going to appreciate this because whereas everybody else knew most of the songs that were in our party, most of the songs I knew the Weird Al parody version, and I would sing those to some degree, but I didn't know most of the original songs, or I didn't know them as well as the Weird Al parody version of those songs. So that's where I was at.
Yeah, and then we did Harry Potter trivia, which is my jam. However, this was the worst Harry Potter trivia I have ever been to, and not just because I didn't know a lot of the answers, but because it was horrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was so bad. It was so extremely specific that unless you were sitting down reading your questions and watching the movie or reading the book at the same time, you wouldn't get the answers. The person that won had 10 questions correct.
Out of 20.
Out of 20, I had 7.
Yeah. It was stuff. This is the level of ridiculousness. It was like on page 254 of the Philosopher's Stone, the third line down, what is the first letter that starts that sentence? It was that level of ridiculousness.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
So I did not win that. And I don't feel bad about it. Normally I'm extremely nervous and I feel bad, but as soon as she started the questions, I was like, let's leave. We didn't leave. I did it. I got 7. It's fine, but it's okay. So I didn't win, and I didn't get a ship on a stick, which they didn't even give for that one. No, they gave a medal.
They gave a thingy on a string.
Speaking of ships on a stick, how many ships on a stick do you have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I did get one on this cruise.
I lost a couple in the past, but
yeah, actually, all of those are pretty much mine, aren't they?
The ones I earned are.
Well, Mardi Gras
went with the house.
Mardi Gras was primarily because of Adam.
Yeah.
But the rest of them I won from Harry Potter trivia.
Yeah.
This one was given to me from John Heald himself.
Yeah.
Which is super exciting. I have a little paper, but I think it's in the bedroom. So back in April, he did a contest thing that was like, share this photo and then, or make this photo your profile picture and then share the post or something. And he picked 10 people out of all of the people that did that. And I just happened to be one of the people that he chose for that, which is super cool. And on that post, it was like, hey, these are the winners. On your next cruise, send me a message and you might get something in your cabin. So I did that. I sent the thing and whatever. And I got chocolate covered strawberries, a bottle of champagne, and a ship on a stick that I should have won for Harry Potter trivia. That was really dumb, but I got it and I don't feel bad.
I mean, I got a ship on a soap block, but we had to pay for this one. We don't usually get these, although they're cool, but I didn't make the decision to buy them from the get-go. So now I'm just like, okay, start now. But we did get the Pride because that was our group cruise.
Yeah.
And we got this one because not only is it really beautiful, but also we're, I think, going to try and scan it and maybe do a 3D prints of it. That's what we were going to do. I don't know if we're still planning to do that, but
if we're able to figure out how to do that in the next.
Otherwise, though, it's just really
We'll
get a Mardi Gras one too.
Oh yeah.
But because that's what we're getting married on. But this is, I mean, that's a beautiful. Look at that. I mean, look at.
It's so good. My mom was here at the beginning of the week, and she's going on the wedding cruise. And I actually pointed out, oh my God, would you stop doing that?
Well, let me drink
that over there. I pointed out where her cabin was, and she's like, oh. I was like, yep, right here.
And you have to shrink to the size to put in.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm going to read these comments, and then we'll talk about the islands.
Okay.
I just had to talk about my, Harry Potter trivia. Brandy says, "Fight nice, kids." They should just play Weird Al parody songs and make people guess the names of the real songs. You
Oh,
wouldn't be able to guess that.
No.
Stacy says, "Harry Potter trivia was ridiculous." Be bright. And Kimberly, you did great
Ridiculous!
for what it was. I mean, honestly, the ones that I got right, some of them I guessed-ish, but I kind of had an idea. So, it's just so frustrating. David Brandy says, "We have 10.
Nice.
What did I just say I had?
6,
7.
7.
7. Ouch.
We
I got
probably
my
would
Carnival
hit
Pride
10.
ship on a stick on a cruise, unlike Kimber's Carnival Pride ship on a stick. You know what? You know what, Billy? That's okay because I got mine from some really awesome friends." Brittany said, "John is the best." That's for sure.
Sounds awesome.
We got a ship on a stick and ship model for each Carnival ship we've been on.
That's awesome.
Cool. They are expensive, but the detail is great on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had this version. They had
a pewter one,
and then they had the crystal one.
Mm-hmm.
And the other two were more expensive. And we got up there and I said, "I want the ship on us, or I want the ship model." And she said, "Which one?" I said, "The cheap one."
But this is actually the one we prefer.
I mean that's the one we wanted.
Cool. I'm not a big fan of the crystal one, but the pewter one is cool. I do like it. But this, I'm not holding it up so you can see it because the camera's. Yeah, I mean, this is just beautiful. It's beautiful. So.
Once you start collecting the ship model, you can't stop. So disappointed they didn't have them on Carnival Spirit. Well, we only have 2. And I don't think we need all of the others. I mean, there's so many ships that I've been on that I don't have one for.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
It'd be cool to have them.
I mean, we just have to go on more cruises.
Yeah, there you go. It'd be cool to have. I've seen David Brandy's got a whole collection of them. It's really cool.
We've been married 57 years. Our friends call us the Bickersons. We love the cheap ones. We don't care. That's right. Go cheap ones.
Yeah, I mean, I like the pewter ones, but I would kick them out of bed for a painted one.
All right, let's talk about this. So the first place we went was Aruba.
Aruba.
And
that's a story.
Yeah, so we it was better than a Carnival ship on a stick.
No.
A fantastic cruising ship on a stick.
Those are very hard to come by.
I don't even have one of those.
But you could make one.
I could, but I didn't even keep one for ourselves.
Let me just start Aruba this way. You know how people tell you if you book outside the cruise line, it'll be cheaper, it'll be smaller, it'll be better. Well, that's not always true, as we found out.
So we did not book any Carnival cruise excursions.
Not a one.
We booked outside of the cruise line for everything that we did.
Mm-hmm.
Now go.
Which mostly was great, except for this. And it was okay. It started out rough. So we book it. We're supposed to meet them at a certain time. They're just supposed to have a sign of who they were, which is L Tours or something like that.
L Tours.
We signed it. It's a 3-hour tour. Okay. It's on the SS Minnow. No, that's not true. And it's supposed to be the highlights of Aruba. So, okay.
So cool. We booked it. Let's tell them how we booked it, right? We want to talk about that?
If you want.
We booked it through Shipmate.
Yes.
Which was Shore Excursions Group. So I guess Shipmate does Shore Excursions Group. So we booked it through the Shipmate app.
Mm-hmm. It was cheap.
It was
$50, something like that.
Approximately. I actually screenshotted it, so
3 hours, $50. I mean, it's all right. It's all right.
It's $49 each.
Okay. So we, you're going on an excursion, you go early, right? Because if the excursion leaves at say 9 a.m., I don't remember what time this one left. You get there at 8:45 at the latest. Sometimes they'll tell you that.
They told us to arrive 15 minutes early.
15 minutes early. We get there, they're not there.
Well, they said that they would be right inside the terminal doors,
mm-hmm.
wearing a blue shirt that says EL Tours, holding an orange sign or something like that. Like it was extremely specific on what we would find.
And they weren't there.
Didn't happen. Hi, Todd.
So now we're like, okay,
Welcome.
we booked outside of the cruise line. Is this like a legit company? It probably is, right?
I mean, a shipmate.
Shipmate. So we, so we go and I think JT or Jen or somebody asked, I don't remember who, one of the other like independent tour vendors were like, hey, we booked with L Tours, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, they'll be here. Don't worry. Okay. I feel better. They're not like, yeah, oh yeah, those guys, they're not even real. So they showed up like a minute late. That's fine. Things happen. Life happens. No big deal. We get onto a bus.
Well, actually, I also want to point out this other company. I wish I would have gotten their names, but I didn't. They were wearing like neon yellow shirts. They actually came over and found us.
They did, yeah.
And said, "Oh, EL Tours just pulled up over there."
Yeah, they went above and beyond.
They didn't have to do that. There was no reason for them to do that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. They did. They really
did.
And
that was super awesome of them to do.
It was. It was.
Whoever they are, Aruba, bright yellow shirts right outside the
they're awesome.
They're great.
So they put us on a bus. It's like a medium-sized bus. I bet it seats like maybe 30 people, 40 people tops.
The little bus?
Yeah.
Oh, I doubt that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12, 6, maybe 20. 25.
Probably seats like 20, 25 people tops. It's a medium-sized bus, right? So we get on. There's a few other people on. Fine. This looks like a good-sized tour. Okay, cool. We take off, boop, 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 head over to a hotel.
Which he told us. He did get on and say, this is not the bus you're going to stay on. We're going to go over to the hotel to get to your actual ride or whatever.
So we get to the hotel, and they have us get off this bus, get onto like a full-size like city bus.
Like 60-passenger bus. Something like that.
I'm not going to count the seats.
I don't.
But
I'm just.
It's a lot of people. It's like a full. If you've been on a full city bus, this is the size bus that it was. So we walk on, and it's like probably 75% full, 60, 75% full. So we're like, okay, this is a little different. So we sit down, fine, whatever, go with the flow. It's cruising, man. We take off. We go to another stop. More people get on the bus. Okay, all right. Go to another stop. More people get on the bus. 5 stops.
45 minutes.
45 minutes, 5 stops. Not a single word said to us.
No communication.
Zip.
We don't know what we're booked on.
People are getting on with beach gear. This tour isn't scheduled to go to the beach.
We did not book a beach tour.
We don't know what's happening. We're all. It's like comical at this point.
I'm gonna back up a little bit because all we said was that we booked a tour. We booked the Aruba Highlights tour.
I did say
you
that.
said that.
I did say
I'm sorry. Whatever.
Keep up.
So it's supposed to go to those highlights that those highlight tours go to.
So, all right.
Not the beach.
So finally, 45 minutes. We go to like 5 hotels. The guy like makes a joke like, "Oh, now you've seen the best of the hotel tourism." Yeah, that's not really funny at this point, but
it would have been if you started with that.
Maybe.
I mean, at least we would have known.
No.
Like everybody around us was like, "Is this a tour of
nobody knew
hotels? Like, what are we doing? What have we booked?
Is this 45 minutes count towards our 3-hour tour or what?" So then he's like, "Okay, our first stop is going to be the Aloe Factory." Okay, great. I knew we were going to the Aloe Factory, I think, at some point, but whatever. We're going to be there for 45 minutes. Come again? 40. That's an hour and a half of a 3-hour tour. Are you sure about that? So we get to the Aloe Factory. There's aloe on the ground being grown, The guy, it's blazing hot, hottest cruise I've ever been on. Blazing hot. Guy's out there. He's talking to us about aloe, whatever. At this point, I might have cared, but at this point, I'm just like, I don't care about your aloe fact. Can I drink your aloe? Because I need something to drink right now. Whatever. Then they take us inside. We go on a little tour. Blah blah blah. These are our products. I see what this is. This is a commercial for your aloe factory. Aloe is an important resource in Aruba. I get it. Like it did have some validity to be on this tour, but not like honestly, 45 minutes, part of that, like half of that was gift shop time.
Right.
And let me tell you, that aloe ain't cheap. It's the Royal Aloe Factory, and they're little hand lotions were what, like $28?
$28.
$28. I'm like,
There was some other kind of cream that was $46.
it was
was
way
stupid.
overpriced. And now we're already aggravated, and then then we're doing this, and we're just like, we're just over it. Like, I was like, can we just go? Like, it's still early. Can we just go back to the port and like book something independently? It was frustrating. But then we get back on, the guy's like, okay, now we're going to go to the something rock formation.
Casabari Rock Formation.
Casabari Rock Formation. I'm like, okay,
So
that sounds like nature.
I'm not sure he said that. I think he didn't say that until we got there.
Oh, I thought he maybe did, because I don't
maybe
know.
he did.
It's all a blur now. The Casabari Rock Formation is basically it's cool. I mean, it was neat. We got to climb up on the rocks. People probably die there because it's very uneven with small ledges. Like, it would not fly in the United States. They'd get sued and shut down. But it's not the United States, so they can have fun. But it was beautiful. You climb up. It's very scenic. There are lizards everywhere.
This is.
Yeah. I mean,
that's very blurry.
Very blurry.
Why is that so blurry? There
you're too close.
Okay. Well, and I can't figure out.
That's on top.
That's on top. So it's a nice view.
If you saw some of the lizard pictures on Facebook, I posted some pictures that I took that day. And we're lizard people. Not like in the weird conspiracy way, but like we like lizards. We're people who like lizards. So we saw a lot of them. Beautiful, blue-spotted, whiptail lizards, which is one of the main reasons I wanted to do this tour. So it's fine. I don't know that everybody on the tour was that impressed with it, because a lot of people didn't even want to climb it, which it was not like you had to go through stuff. Like,
it was kind of interesting. I mean,
it was interesting. I thought it was cool, but it was not an easy thing to traverse.
No.
It was not an easy thing to traverse.
And they didn't tell you that.
You need to be very, very careful if you climb on a rock. I saw at least 3 people almost fall to their death. So, or at least break something. And I don't mean a camera, but that would have gotten broken too. So, but it was fine. But like, some people were intimidated to go up, and I think that they were justified in that intimidation, because it was not an easy climb. But that was it. Okay, so then we're there for like, what, maybe 15 minutes?
The rest of the stuff we did was we were there for 15 minutes.
Yeah, so that was kind of stupid. But
45 minutes at the Yellow Factory.
Yeah.
45 minutes going to pick people up. 15 minutes everywhere else.
But okay, I've seen lizards. The tension has released a little bit.
Oh.
Gina liked the Yellow Factory.
They said that rock formation stop was also the first mention of them providing water for us on the tour. Yeah.
Yes. Gina did like the Yellow Factory. So we are ripping on it, but some people did like it. So we should point that out.
I was interested in the lotion until I saw that it was $28.
I think if it hadn't been under those circumstances, I probably would have been like, oh, this is interesting. The economic
I agree.
blah, but
I think we started off on the wrong foot.
I wanted rocks and lizards and scenery, and I didn't want like a gift shop with overpriced lotion. But that being said, the next stop we went to after the rock was the gold mine ruins, which is beautiful old ruins. Looks like a fort or a castle almost, right on the water. Beautiful rocky shoreline. Oh my God, Aruba is so beautiful with all the cacti and stuff like that. Just gorgeous. More lizards. Yeah, there we are.
There's my picture of that one, which
sitting in the gold mine.
I guess you just don't get to see. I'll probably post these somewhere eventually. But that was kind of cool to sit up on that little window thing.
Yeah, the Muncie channel says should have targeted burned tourists. If they would have done it at the end, I think we would have had a different opinion of it.
My face was burned.
And people probably would have bought more products because
I agree.
Because we
starting with it, and that's what I said is we had been sitting on this bus for 45 minutes not knowing what's going on. And then we pull into the Aloe Factory and they're like, let's do this. If we would have done all the other things first and then gone to the Aloe Factory, or even stuck it somewhere in the middle, I feel like I would have felt differently about the Aloe Factory. I think where it was placed didn't make sense because we were really, really, really hot because it was all outdoors and the Aloe Factory was indoors. So it was AC.
I don't know logistically how that works, and they probably have to time tours.
I'm
There were a lot
sure.
of tours going through there, but so then after the gold mine, we went to
church.
the church, which is, I'm not a church guy, but I'm like, I like old architecture, but this church was built in like the 50s. I'm like, my old house was built in the 50s. I'm not that impressed with that. But the scenery around the church was actually very beautiful. And more lizards,
And some birds.
and some birds, some pretty birds. So, okay, all right, I can dig it. And then we went to the lighthouse.
Yeah.
And the lighthouse, again, is a lighthouse. It's cool. We have lighthouses in Florida. I like them. They're fine. But we went, is that where we walked? No, the church.
The church is where we
Church
walked.
is where we walked on the little paths, which was really cool. I would have liked to spend more time on the little trails. The lighthouse, we walked around the outskirts. More lizards. So again, I'm happy with that. And then we went and we dropped the people off. Not as many stops before they got to us.
Well, because a bunch of them stopped at the beach. So they went to the beach and
that's
dropped
where the
some
beach thing
people
came.
off.
Yeah. So we did get our full 3-hour tour. The tour ended up being what I expected it to be eventually. It was a lot of people. And this is a problem too with, and I don't know how to solve this, but all these places in Aruba are very, very, very high traffic tourism spots.
Because all of the tours in any version go there.
Yeah.
So the ATVs went there, the side-by-sides went there, the Jeeps went there, every tour went to those stops.
So it was so crowded. And honestly, like when we were at the gold mine, it's like all dirt and all the ATVs and stuff. I felt like I was in the Road Warrior movie. Like it was like, it was real. Like I'm like, are we post-apocalyptic now? Do I need to like look for water? But beautiful, just too many people. And I know that I don't know what the solution is. I'm not blaming the tourism company for that because that's just the reality of it. I think if you were there for the week, you could probably go earlier or later when most of the tours were not there yet or
the
gone.
Sun's not right in the middle of the sky.
And it'd probably be a better experience, but it was fine. I'm glad we did it. We got to see it. I wouldn't recommend going through that tour company. I'd try and find something that would be a smaller group that would maybe spend more even time at the places. But and
I'm going to say this based on what we did in Bonaire. Or at Aruba, we were there until 9.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe booking an afternoon tour.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that would have made a difference. That might have made a difference.
Because I think that made a difference for our Bonaire tour.
Yeah. So we finished the tour. We came back. I think we got back on the ship and ate or something.
Yeah, something like that. And then we got off and shopped a little bit.
Yep. So we shopped. We didn't buy a lot in Aruba, but that is where we got the hat and the pin, right?
Yeah.
So
Did you bring that in here?
I didn't bring the hat in here, but I have the pin.
Okay.
I don't want to show the hat.
That's fine.
The hat's the hat I'm going to wear at the wedding.
The wedding hat.
So we found a cool hat for the wedding. So we go into this gift shop, right? And it's just a standard gift shop like you'd expect on any Caribbean island. And they've got like the little fedora Cuban style hats. And we've been looking for one, and I haven't been able to find one. And then we live in Tampa. Why can't we find a Cuban hat in Tampa? What is wrong with the world? But they have them, and they were good quality ones. We saw some cheap ones, but I'm like, it's for the wedding. I want a decent hat. So we see one. We're looking at it. There's 2 styles. One's a little bit more fancy than the other one. I'm like, can I pull this off? And she's like, yeah, So lady comes over. Oh, you're looking at the hats, blah, blah, blah. You're like, yeah, it's for a wedding, blah, blah. So I buy the hat, right? Buy the hat, go up there, pay for the hat. Good price, good quality hat. Kimber notices these pins. Okay, so I have the hat with all the pins on it and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, look, Matt, there's the enamel hat pins." I'm like, "Oh, cool. There's one. I like that flag one. Blah blah blah. There's a couple flag ones." The lady's like, she asked us. She's like, "Who's getting married?" We're like, "Oh, we are." And she's like, "Oh, congratulations." And then she sees us, hears us talking about the pins. She's like, "Which pin you like? I'll give you a pin." I'm like, "Okay, she's gonna sell us a pin, right?" So I'm like, oh, let's see. I'm like, okay, there's this one and this one and this one. I like this one. This was really cool. She's like, here you go. I'm like, how much do I owe you? She's like, nothing. Have a great wedding. And I'm just like, wow. Like, here's the pin. Okay. Whoop. Wait, there you go. There's the pin right there. It says Aruba on it. Here's the thing. She had no motivation to do that
No, we had already bought the hat. We were ready to leave.
other than just being a nice human being.
Which through the whole shopping experience, she was very nice. She wasn't pushy like a lot of other places are.
Yeah.
Like he was trying on the hat and she pulled over a mirror and she was like, mirror, mirror on the table.
Yeah, she's
like she was
around.
very fun and friendly with that.
Yeah.
And then when she said how much it was, I like grabbed out the wrong amount of cash. And she's like, no, only this. Why are you giving me more money? I was like, I don't know. I can't count. She was very friendly, but that pin just like,
it's just really cool because now not only is this like a cool pin, but now this pin has meaning to it, like special meaning to it. And that's cool. That's cool.
So
that's a cool
this shop
human,
is called
a very human thing to do.
Gypsy Souvenirs. I am going to promote them because I feel like they deserve it. She was a wonderful human and you should shop at their shop. It's on like the main roadway. So after you exit and go through those other little, I want to say garage, they're not really garages, but the little storage kind of units on the road. Shop there.
Yeah. So that was Aruba. Came back out at night, tried to get some pictures of the ship. Aruba's a beautiful place. I'm glad we did the land stuff. I would like to see a little bit more of the wild Aruba, but you have to have Jeeps and stuff to get there. But other than that, if I went to Aruba again, I'd definitely get back in the water. But yeah, it's a really beautiful country with obviously some very wonderful people there.
Yep. Stacey says I would have enjoyed it more as well if it wasn't so hot.
It was
hot.
Just a hot.
There was one point I said, man, I should have put sunscreen on my face, but I was so hot and sweaty. I think it would have just run off. So I didn't do it, and then my face got burnt. So Kevin says we did a private tour on Antigua. Our tour guide strategically took us to all the big sites when nobody else was there. He made great use of our time. Yeah. We absolutely will check it out when we are there. Yeah, the customer service, it wasn't, there are some other places that we go that they're like so pushy. Oh, I'll give you this. Oh, we can do this. Oh, I'll hold it for you. But it wasn't like that.
And I get it. Like they need to make money.
Yeah.
I'm not holding that against anybody, but for them to be like that is just it just was really, it was very special. It was very cool. So then we went to Bonaire because we did the ABCs in alphabetical order. So we went to Bonaire and we first, Stacy and the two of us, we booked a water taxi over to Klein Bonaire, which means Little Bonaire, which is a completely undeveloped island, little tiny island off of Bonaire, and it's supposed to have some of the best snorkeling in the world. So we did that. It was $25 round trip. That they do sell you soda and beer and water, which the soda and beer is the same price.
Yeah.
So that's, hey, that's the Netherlands for you. But they drop you out. So in the past, Stacey done this once before, and they talked about it. There's usually a somewhat strong current. So you can either walk up to this post, get in the water there, because it's coral reef right by the shore. You can't swim up in the coral reef. And then you drift down to this open beach area, or they offered to take us a little bit further, and then we drift all the way back. So we opted for that. We ran and put our stuff on the beach, got back on the boat, went back up, got in the water, and did a drift snorkel. That wasn't really a drift snorkel because we had to actually swim. But I'll just get the sad part out of the way. Klein Bonaire is currently closing at 2 p.m. And that is because they got hit in Bonaire with a really bad coral disease. I think he said in February. It's killing. He said a few different species of coral, but the thing I really noticed on was the brain coral. It's really sad because when you have a piece of brain coral this big and only this patch of it is alive, it's not like you can just start over next year. that is literally hundreds or thousands of years of coral growth that is done. It's done. You have to start again with a little tiny brain coral. That's horrible, and it's not their fault, but it's terrifying and sad because coral reefs all over the world are going through this kind of stuff for various reasons: diseases, climate change, runoff. There's a lot of things. Coral's not having a good time right now. And if you like cruising or the Caribbean or seafood or just living on this planet, you should care about that. But enough of that. So, besides that, despite that, this was an absolutely beautiful coral snorkel. There is going to be some footage.
Probably not as much footage
Not-
as we hoped for.
Not the comparison, but the diversity on this reef was above average. We saw a species that we always see, and we saw a species that it's like, oh, that's cool. And we see that.
We saw a lot
quite a
of
few of those.
those.
Yeah. We saw a hawksbill sea turtle, which was just like hung out for a while. We saw an octopus. Really good stuff. Really good snorkel. $25. $25
for the water taxi.
We could have stayed there another like hour or so too.
Yeah, we did it was about 2 hours for us to snorkel from where they dropped us to get to the beach where we could get back on land.
So then in the Osmo Action 4 camera, it was my first test. It's got the sensor for color temperature, and I've already looked at the videos, and let me just tell you, if you are an action camera user that swims underwater, you're going to have a hard time going with GoPro over Osmo, because when I free dove down to about 35, 40 feet, the colors that came out on that footage without any color grading at all were as I saw them underwater. Beautiful. No color grading necessary. No blue footage. I mean, there's blue footage because in the distance and stuff, but it did a remarkable job of adjusting the color temperature at depth. Blown away by this camera. Really happy. It can go deeper than 33 feet, so I can dive down to 60 feet, and I don't have to worry about putting a housing on it, because I don't like housings, because then it's hard to change the battery. Anyway, that footage is there. We still have that, so that's coming at some point when I am not too lazy and edit it. Beautiful. There's so much underwater in Bonaire. But we came back, got on the ship, ate lunch, showered, maybe not in that order, met up with JT and Jen and Gina for our tour of Bonaire. This was a more expensive tour. It was $179.
It was $174 for the two of us.
For two. So whatever that math is divided by two.
And it was
80 something.
This one was booked through Shore Excursioneer.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Bonaire Island sightseeing excursion, north and south side, with local guide.
So you can imagine we all have a little bit of a bad taste in our mouth from Aruba.
And we all blamed Stacy.
And we all blame Stacy, whose fault it was not. We get to this place, and they're supposed to have our names on a sign. So I'm like, well, that's can't be a bus full, right? So we find a lady. She's got our names on the sign. There's not that many other names on the sign. We're like, yeah, that's us. And she's like, oh, great. You're, going on the tour. Yeah, there's two other couples. Oh, what? Yeah, there's two other couples. Oh, which ones? This and this. Oh, well, I've got them with you, but I've got them with somebody else and somebody else with you. We're like, nope, that's not going to work. So she's like, oh, well, you should have done this and that. And we're like, we didn't know that because there's nowhere for us to see that. That's obvious. So now we're like, oh, here we go again. We're not going to be real happy if they put Stacy and Gina on a different tour bus. They didn't. They worked it out. They figured it out. They got it straightened. Our tour guide shows up. It was literally the six of us and our tour guide. We get into a minivan.
Minivan.
What was his name? Stan?
His name was Stan.
Stan, who is from the Netherlands, but he lives in Bonaire now. Stan was amazing guy. He was a little bit crazy, and I think if he ever happened to see this, he would take that as a compliment because I mean it as a compliment. He was crazy in a good way. Really enjoyed him. He just talked to us like we were just friends. He took us to all the places he was supposed to. Plus some. We saw the salt flats, the slave huts. We saw several scenic areas. Very, very scenic.
We almost saw a cave.
Bonaire is beautiful. He tried to take us to a cave, but there was a beehive there. Stacy got stung in the face. So we didn't keep going. We had to stop. We saw flamingos in their natural habitat, not pushed into Florida by a hurricane. It was amazing. It was really cool. He was very authentic.
I would say it was like probably the top tour I've ever done on a cruise.
It was definitely up there. And
this guy truly loves his job.
He does, and he loves the island.
All 8 of them.
He kept telling us
he has 8 jobs
because that's how much he has to have to live in Bonaire. He kept saying, he kept giving us like, oh, you want to know restaurants, and he's like, don't go there. That's Netherlands people. They don't give their money back to the island people. It was kind of funny, but seriously, it was a great experience. It did end. We went. I don't know how many places we went to.
Oh, we just kept going places.
A lot, and I think he took us to like 2 or 3 places beyond what.
Yeah.
He's like you're here till 9:30, right? I'm like, yeah, but your tour doesn't last that long. He's like, So
you've got a nice camera. Let's go take these
scenery
pictures.
I noticed you have a nice camera. I'm going to take you to the scenery. I mean, that's amazing. That's like the kind of customer service that you just don't find everywhere. Yeah. So the last stop was, I think it was the last stop, was a distillery, which I admit I'm a little more keen to than an aloe factory, and maybe that's not fair. But
it was a cactus distillery,
and the Kadushi cactus,
yes, the Kadushi cactus.
which is all over Bonaire. So I felt like it was very relevant, and we bought some liquor made from the Kadushi. And this is the Bonaire version. They have it for the different islands, and I've been sitting here looking at it. I'm going to finally open it up and pour it into a little shot glass. Would you still like some?
Yes, please. Just a little. I don't want too much.
Okay, well.
So less than
I've been
what
thinking
you've given
about
yourself.
this all week. So we did sample it at the Kadushi factory. It was not cheap, but it wasn't,
it wasn't crazy.
It wasn't bourbon, like expensive bourbon prices, but it wasn't cheap.
And we chose our shot glasses based on the color shirt we're wearing.
And we tried most of the different varieties, and we actually did just like the Bonaire one better. I was hoping to like the Curacao and the Aruba one,
I know,
but I didn't like them as much. This one's kind of, I don't know, let's see, lime.
I get kind of a mint.
Oh, maybe a little mint. It's kind of mojito-ish.
It's like citrusy, minty.
It's very good.
It's real good.
It's very good. Yeah. There are some drink recipes, but we didn't make it to the store to like mix it with Sprite and muddled mint leaves or something like that. That's true, Gina.
Yes. Gina says, by the way, you drinking this right now was my idea.
That is valid.
Absolutely true.
That is valid.
And we waited all week.
Yes. So I don't thank you for that, but I do thank you for this. So anyway.
And we're using our Carnival shot glasses.
Yes. Mary Miller got these for us.
She did. I don't know if she watches or listens to us anymore. She's, I think, getting ready to get on a cruise soon.
I think she might be.
Yeah.
So Bonaire, I'm going to just say it. Bonaire is my island now. Like, I love Curacao, but Bonaire, I would go with Bonaire over Curacao, and that is not an easy thing for me to say because I love Curacao. I like Aruba quite a bit, but man, Bonaire, wow. I mean, I will say, and I hope this doesn't make anybody angry or upset, but I will say that while we were on Bonaire, I started questioning whether I should keep cruising because I thought, man, I really want to spend like a week here. Like, a week in Bonaire might be worth 2 weeks of cruising in the Caribbean. Like just because there's so much to see and do and stuff like that. Just crazy. But I won't stop cruising because I love cruising as well. 20% volume. I don't know if that's the alcohol rating, but Stacy was asking about.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think it's super strong though.
No. Yeah, Bonaire. This trip to Bonaire blew me away.
Oh my gosh.
I love the
breathtaking.
snorkel. Anytime that I see a sea turtle, you know, adds something to my visit there.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we were there, we dove, and it was a great dive. I didn't see seahorses, which is what I was hoping for.
It wasn't it was a fine dive, but I've had better dives in other places, honestly.
The island tour is actually kind of what sold it for me.
Well, and there's I think there's so much more to the coral reefs that we haven't seen yet.
However, here's where I'm at with Curacao.
Mm-hmm.
When we went to Curacao,
we're not at Curacao yet.
I know. Well, true, but this isn't going to have anything to do with what we did.
Okay.
When we went to Curacao in September of 21,
mm-hmm.
we went to Mambo Beach.
Yes.
And we did that snorkel, and then went on the other side of the rocks, and it was
Narnia.
It was the most amazing reef I have ever seen.
Yeah.
And I will never forget that reef. Yeah. But
that's valid.
Here's where I'm at between Bonaire and Curacao. I'm interested to maybe see the land of Curacao, but I don't think we'll ever do it unless we're with a specific group of people.
Well, I think what Bonaire has land-wise as an advantage is there is more land that was dedicated to keeping it natural. The population, Stan said what the population was on the two islands, and I don't remember the exact numbers, but I want to say it was like something like 10,000 to 100,000 or something like that. It was a very different demographic. And so the natural areas are probably bigger and bolder and more beautiful. I don't know. And that reef at Mambo Beach is outstanding. I suspect that there are areas like that around Bonaire.
Right. I probably.
But yeah, I you know, it pains me to say that I like Bonaire more than Curacao a little bit, because I love Curacao. Like, it's like, if you go Bonaire, Curacao, the next step down from that is a pretty big step. Even Aruba is down quite a bit.
I would put Puerto Rico above Aruba.
I mean, they're different experiences, but like, I would say Aruba's closer to Roatan for me. I love Roatan, but yeah, Bonaire, oh man, it is just something else. It's just a whole other thing.
All right, we got a couple things here. Dave says, we are going to Bonaire for the first time in April. Can't wait. I highly recommend booking that tour we did through Shore Excursionaire and requesting Stan.
Request Stan, because I don't know if we would have got the girl who was originally going to take us, it might have been just as good, but I don't know if it would have, because Stan was the man. He was like Stan the man.
Gina says, you want to hire Stan with the van for a week.
Yes, I do.
I asked for his
business
information. And I did take a picture. Actually, I think I gave the card to JT, but I took a picture of his card. I can share this with anybody interested.
Because Stan's also a graphic designer.
He is.
Stan and I are like brothers from another mother, I think.
I highly recommend. We even talked about, if we go to Bonaire for like a week, we're going to contact Stan and ask him to tour us around the island. Yeah,
because we're sitting up on one of the like high overlooks, and you can see like a good portion of the island or part of the island. And he's like, yeah, I like that beach for this snorkeling, and this for this snorkeling, and this for this snorkeling. We're like, what?
And that one has leatherback sea turtle.
Yeah, we're like, and manta rays. We're like, come again?
He's what?
He's like, well, you don't see them that often. I'm like, but you've seen them. Like, there's a possibility that you could see a leatherback sea turtle and a manta ray at the beach.
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on.
it would be cool to cruise there, stay for a week, then cruise back.
Yes. That would be it right there.
Your mom says you fell in love with Bonaire when you had a subscription to your dive
Yeah.
magazine at
Skin
14.
Diver magazine.
Yeah.
I got it when I was a kid, and every other cover, Bonaire, Bonaire, Bonaire.
Muncie Channel likes Roatan.
I love Roatan.
Yeah.
I love Roatan.
fan
Roatan
of-
was my favorite before I went to Curacao.
A fan of Stan the Man with the Van. Except he doesn't like snakes. True.
We can work on that.
But
I
his
feel like
reasoning was valid, protecting
you know what?
the children. Oh, that's true. Because he worked. He lived in Africa
Well,
for a while.
He's dealing with mambas. That's
That man at 29 has more experiences than I have.
yeah. He might have had more experiences than he really had, but
But you know what? It entertained us for 3 hours.
I could just hang out with Stan for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I feel like Stan was open-minded enough. I could change his mind on snakes.
Oh,
I think
probably.
I could. Not everybody. I don't think I could change your mom's mind on snakes, but I think I could change Stan's mind on snakes.
Oh, probably. I mean,
If he met Tia, I think he'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's different."
Yeah.
All right. So then.
Well, so here's the downside that I have for Bonaire. By the time we got back,
Downside.
there's
It's
one.
Diver down.
By the time we got back around 5:30, all the shops were closed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we didn't get it, and we were there until 9.
But you know what?
I wanted a new Bonaire shirt.
But you know what? You know what? I say, good for you, Bonaire, because you know what that means? That means that they care about their people,
True.
and they're like, you know what? You had an opportunity to buy stuff. We don't have to work 14 hours days because so that you have every second, while you're here, an opportunity to buy stuff.
I'll give them that.
Like
I just
I'm
wanted
okay
a
with
new
that.
Bonaire
Power to the
shirt.
people. That's what I'm saying.
Fine, that just means we
Maybe
have to
it's
go
the
back.
Kadushi talking, but power to the people. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Okay, so that was Bonaire.
Then we went to Curacao. Bonbini. They say Papiamentu is on all the islands, of course, but Bonbini and Dushi and all that stuff is probably more in your face in Curacao than it is in the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
But they all speak Papiamentu, but they really
In school,
dig into
they
it.
have to learn 4 different languages before they can finish school. They have to be fluent in the 4 different languages.
Gina just sent me a picture, but I can't see it on my
I think she sent it
my
to
phone.
me too.
I think it might be like a boa or something eating a python eating something. Oh yeah. Can't tell what it's
I'm
eating.
not sure what that is.
Looks like an African rock python eating an ungulate. But not a mamba though. African rock pythons won't bother you.
My friend is hunting in South Africa right now. They
Oh,
saw this
yeah.
python killing its prey.
It's an African rock python. Yes, that's
All
what
right.
it is. So
Les says thumbs down on the snakes.
no, Les. I could
what,
change your
Les?
mind too, Les.
Come over and meet Tia.
Yeah. And
She is a pleasure.
Captain Billy says Matt got Skin magazine as a kid. Oh my. Skin Diver. So Curacao, we didn't book anything because I've always wanted to just walk over the floating bridge and just not be in a rush. And so that's what we did. And it was wonderful. I'm glad we did it. We go to Mambo Beach next time.
We did the lock thing.
We did. There's the heart sculptures, and all 3 couples put locks on there.
Mm-hmm.
It was very cool. We have our names on there.
We got the broken lock.
Yeah, but I
It
got it to
worked.
work.
But we got the
Fixed
broken
our
lock.
lock. Fixed it. My mechanical skills.
Yeah.
You know how rare that is. So there you go.
Jen's pin.
Yeah. But there's a lot. If you cross that bridge, there's a lot of little shops and stuff over there. It's cool. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Puerto Rico, not nearly as big or in depth, but there's some history there. I would like to do, if I was going to do another land thing there, I would try and find a good historical tour of Willemstad, Curacao. But it was kind of neat. It was fun to just walk around. It was so hot.
It was so hot.
So
this whole cruise
hot.
was
So
real
hot.
hot.
But we did a lot of shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I got this hat. I got a t-shirt, which is in the wash because I haven't done laundry yet. Not all of it. I got this hat. These are like $10. This was like 20 with a shirt.
Mhm.
With a shirt. I got this, which was like $5. I think this might be like their football team, but it's also their flag. But I feel like
it's very upside down and
Yeah.
backwards.
I feel like it might be their because they had jerseys and stuff, which kind of
Mm-hmm.
had this. I know it's their flag, but I feel like it's. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. And then I got this, which I really like this quite a bit. I'm not. Every time I look at myself, I'm like, I'm not sure I can pull this off, but I do like it, and I like it under the hat too. It makes me feel really cool. I don't know why. I'm probably not really cool with it, but I feel cool. And then we got a douchey license plate. Douchey is papiamento for, well, it can be used in different contexts, but it's basically like something that's sweet, sweetheart. Like me douchey is my sweetheart. But if you drink this and you're like, oh, it's douchey, I don't think you'd say it's because that's not papiamento. But and it also says Bonbini Curacao. And it's got the downtown Willemstad buildings. Yep. So
I got an enamel pin.
yeah,
I
we
didn't
both
get
did.
hats or t-shirts.
No, I bought more stuff.
Matt got more stuff.
I got this enamel pin. It's hard. I know it's hard to see, but it says Curacao, and it's got the little buildings that I love so much. I want to say they're 1700s, 18th century buildings. I think 17th century, 18th century. I don't remember now, but they're old. They're old.
Yeah,
and they're beautiful. So that was Curacao, and then we were there till late.
No, we were there. Till
No,
5.
we were not there till late. I wish we were there.
We
till
were
late.
back on the ship at 4:30.
Yeah,
But that's the night we did teppanyaki.
Yeah, we played. And then we did more stuff on the ship. We played mini golf. We went to shows.
We taught everyone how to play shuffleboard.
Oh yeah,
shuffleboard.
we had a lot of fun playing shuffleboard. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. That's the nice thing about cruising with friends is you can those kind of things. Because like you and I could play shuffleboard and that would be fine. But it was really fun playing shuffleboard with everybody.
Yeah.
And just hanging out with everybody. Going to the shows and dinner with people. Like it's just kind of a different level of experience. So
yeah.
You
got anything else?
I don't think so.
Anything else you want to talk?
I'm gonna have another shot of Kadushi. Mix this with Sprite and mint leaves. That's what look how green that is. Yeah. This bottle was not very big though. That's my only thing. How big is it? It's a half a liter.
You're gonna drink it all. I guess you have
No,
to. The diet comes
I'm not gonna.
soon.
Yeah, after this, I'm not gonna drink it. So.
Yeah. I've got a couple random off-subject things just because they're staring at me. Are they not?
They are.
Yeah. So my mom came into town Monday, left Tuesday. I had my dress fitting and my hair and makeup trial for the wedding. So my mom was here, and we went to Monday before the dress fitting. We ran to the mall because she still doesn't have her outfit for the wedding. So she went to find some stuff. But while we were there, we got some decor. Look how cute they are. Aren't they cute? They're nutcrackers. And they're like Day of the Dead wedding nutcrackers.
They're very appropriate.
And so we got them.
Mixing two very different cultures, but that's okay.
That's okay.
I like mixing.
I really
mixing
like
of
them.
cultural things is good. Let's just all appreciate each other and get along. Yeah. So that was the cruise. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. It was a good experience. It was a lot different than the last cruise we were on, which was our group cruise, which was also a lot of fun.
Speaking of,
but it was a lot different. So
another fantastic group cruise.
there will be one at some point.
Eventually, we don't have anything booked for a while now after the wedding cruise. We're hoping to do a big trip next year if we can make it happen. And in that case, we won't be doing anything until probably at least 2025. Just because we have to wait and see what we can do next year. And then we'll be able to move from that.
I'd love to do like a fantastic
meetup,
like snorkel dive trip. That would be
cool.
fun. Like maybe like a fantastic cruising manatee swim trip or something like that.
That would be good.
That would be easier.
I'd like to do a universal fantastic trip.
We could do like a best of Florida.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
Like we could do like a
spring,
like Springs, Universal, Florida Keys.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Who's interested? Don't know when it'll
We won't make
happen.
it all scuba diving because we don't have that many scuba divers that.
No.
But we can
the
do
springs can happen.
Snorkeling and
the springs can be either snorkeling or just being in the water or just chilling at the springs area. There's options.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. We've been on here a really long time.
Yeah, I know Down Under Cruisers are on right now.
Yeah.
So we will get out of their hair, well, Alana's hair, and thank you guys though for hanging out. Will we be back next week? We'll be in Orlando, right?
Oh, that is next week,
so
isn't it?
Next Saturday is my what I'm calling Punk Rock Heaven. It's NoFX last tour. I've paid way too much money to sit on stage and watch them and several other bands throughout the day. So we have a hotel Friday night and Saturday night, right? So we're going to be over there. But I don't know what we're doing Friday night other than going to the hotel. So maybe we'll be live in Orlando.
And I don't know what I'm doing Saturday.
Yeah. If you live in Orlando and you want to hang out with Kimber, let her know. She'll see what she's doing. But
yeah.
But yeah, so we might be live. It might not be as long. I'm not sure. I don't know what the situation is going to be. But yeah, assuming I survive that, we'll be back. We'll be back the week after. I'm on stage. It should be okay. If I was in the pit, I think I'd probably die. But sitting on stage, I think I'll be okay.
I hope so.
I might not be able to hear.
Concern me.
No, I'll be fine. I'll be all right.
You need to send me like texts every 30 to 45 minutes. You laugh, but I'm serious because the whole time I'm going to be thinking like you've gotten into one of these things where you jump around in circles and then you got trampled.
No, I'm not getting in. I'm not getting in the pit at this show. It's too big. I will die. I might, yeah, I'm not gonna get into the pit and get smashed by like 1,000 people. That's not
because
that's not gonna
when you
work
did that
well.
at that little.
That was a little show.
I know,
Agent
but
Orange
still made me nervous because I saw people fall.
Yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
Okay,
but this will be way too many people. I don't want to get smashed.
Yeah. All right. Let's let the people go. Let's prepare ourselves for whatever we're doing for the rest of our night.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us and listening to us talk for 2 hours. Talk to you next time.
See ya.